Okay, in the last video we talked about different types of tests that we will be running to look for differences for marketing purposes. And in this video we're going to concentrate on the differences within categorical questions, meaning questions that are categorical in type. If you're comparing two questions that are both categorical, we're going to run the crosstabs tool using Excel Data Analyst. So again, if both questions are categorical, meaning they're like multiple choice or yes/no questions, then this is the tool that will run in Excel Data Analyst, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to use this example, and we're going to use the example from the Excel Data College Survey Lots of Data. That's the name of the file, and it's on Slate located within Module 10. So you would probably like to download that file now before you continue and follow along. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the College Life Survey and two questions that are both categorical. Gender question, whether the person is male, female, and the phone usage question, which was a yes/no categorical question. We're going to do a test to see if there's a significant difference between how males and females use all the cell phone features. Again, we're going to use the crosstabs tool. So if you've downloaded the file, what you'll do is run, after you enable the macros, you'll run Excel Data Analyst, select Relate, and then crosstabs. You'll get a menu that comes up, and what you want to do is put the gender. You'll select gender and then select column variable, and then you'll select the cell phone questions and put them in the row variable. And this is what it's going to look like. Notice you've got gender in the column variable and all of the cell questions in the row variable. And then you're going to run and see what the results are. So let's do that together. Let's go to Excel. Here we are, and I've opened the Excel Data Survey Lots of Data file. I enabled macros already. So all I have to do is Excel Data Analyst, Relate, and then select crosstabs. Once that comes up, I like to do the gender first. So I select the gender variable, and that will be the column variable. And then I'm going to scroll back up and find the cell questions, and I'll select all of them by selecting the first one, holding down the Shift key, and selecting the last one, and then I add those to the row. And then I click OK. And this will look familiar to you now. Excel Data will do some processing. When it's finished, it's going to create a new tab. You can see the new tab here. And now, what are we really looking at? Well, what we're looking for is, so you can see now that it's comparing each of the cell phone questions, like for example, sent or received text messages. The next one is retrieve news, with the gender. And we'll give you some tables. And then here's what's important to look at is this no significant association. So there is no difference between how men and women send or receive text messages, or how they look at news, or let's keep scrolling down, or how they use email. However, there is a difference between, and I like to highlight it, there is a difference between how men and women use photo messaging. So let's have a look at that. So what we want to look at is, first of all, we want just to ignore the row percents. We always just look at the column percents. And remember, we're always interested in the yes. We're not interested in the no, but we're interested in the yes. So what it's telling us is that there is a significant difference. And the difference here is that females use photo messaging a lot more than males. Now, what we also have to do is scroll down, we'll notice that there is no significant difference in all of these other questions that were asked. There's only one, and it's in the use of photos, photo messaging. So how do we analyze this? Let's go back to our presentation. Just flip back again. Got lots of things open. And we see now that the only thing that there's a difference between men and women is using photo messaging. We see how the results flow. We can see that you're looking for this phrase, there is a significant difference. We also see that in this case there happens to be a small error, column 3. These were some which we can just ignore. It means that there was an error inputting in the data. We also can see by looking that the statistical values on the side there, sig equals 0.03, means that there's less than a 5% chance of error. So that is at the 95% confidence level. And as also we can see that there is a significant difference between the way males and females use photo messaging. We've seen that. And so this is the observed frequencies, but what we would report is the percentages and the yes. So there is a difference. And how would we report that? We would report that by one simple sentence. A significant difference was found between men and women, and when it came to using photo messaging with cell phones. 65% of females use the feature compared only to 46% of males. Notice I'm using whole numbers here also. Okay, and so if you were reporting this, which you would do, you would report something like this on your final project, on your individual project rather. You would look and see if there are any other significant differences. We've done that. There are none. And then you would add that summary below your visual summary of that particular question. And if you look in Module 10, there's an example for cell phone with segments posted online. I've got that open. It's in Module 10. So let's have a look at it. As you can see, this is the visual summary of the cell phone question, the overall visual summary. So this is not the differences, this is the visual summary that we did in Module 9. And again, these first 3 bullets are the verbal summary of the overall cell question. And then in terms of significant difference, it is reported as a sub-bullet underneath the visual summary. And so once you do your work, you would add a sub-bullet describing the significant difference that you found. And the only significant difference we found between men and women and how they use all those cell features was just one, and that would be how men and women use photo messaging. Okay, so we're going to end it there, and then we'll do the next type of difference question seen in the next video.